Hello everybody, my name is Asia and I'm a registered nurse and a current family nurse practitioner student, and I wanted to come on here to give you guys 5 tips that will help you land your clinical placements. I'm recording outside today because of the lighting and everything, so I apologize about the noise. I live in a busy area. But anyways, let's just get into it. So if you're a nurse practitioner student or you're thinking about becoming a nurse practitioner, one of the most important things you will do is land clinical placements. Now, some schools will find them for you, which is a blessing and it's great, and that's something to definitely consider if you're still in the process of searching for a program, but most schools don't. And it's really frustrating because that leaves that up to us to find it, which if you're trying to study and do everything you got to do, take care of your kids, go to work, and find clinical placements, it literally can feel like a part-time job. But that's why I'm here to help you. So let's get into it. Number one is networking. Networking is huge. Literally, that is the only way I found all of my clinical placements. Now, let me tell you, in my first semester, before I even got into the clinical part of it, in my first semester, I found all of my rotations for the entire program. And I basically knew people. And when I say I knew people, talk to people at your job. Let everybody know that you are in school or thinking about going to school. Ask the doctors, ask the nurse practitioners, ask other nurses, because a lot of other nurses might be in NP school, so that will really help you. You can also, let me see what else. LinkedIn, I wrote these on the paper, sorry. LinkedIn is a good one. Personally, I don't really care for LinkedIn as far as job searching, but if you want to connect with other people and just message them and pick their brain, they'd be more than willing to help you. And I also find that it helps to appear just a little bit desperate. One of my clinicals I found on Facebook. So, power of social media. Just go to type in nurse practitioner Facebook, nurse practitioner students, nurse practitioner new grads, and stuff like that, and just go and post in the group. Don't be anonymous. Show your face and say, hey, my name is Susie, I'm a women's health nurse practitioner student, and I need to preset me for 100 hours for next month, and do it ahead of time. So that also helped. I was able to find one of my rotations like that. So just networking is very important. Number 2, being proactive and aggressive. Before I started using the power of my networking, I would cold email and cold call the practices. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but I don't care if you have to call every clinic, every pediatric clinic, whatever you're doing. If you have to call every clinic within a 10 to 20 mile radius, then you just gonna have to do it. And I would just do a little bit each day. Call 5 clinics today, call 5 clinics tomorrow, and just say, hi, my name is so-and-so, I'm a family nurse practitioner student. Do you guys accept students? They're either going to tell you yes, they do, or no, they don't. If they tell you that they do, they'll say, yes, I'm the practice manager, or here's her email. And normally they'll connect you with the practice manager instead of your actual preceptor. So good. If they do that, they'll give you the email. You can follow up, send your resume, and just sometimes they might want to meet with you. So they'll be like, that's good. Send me your information and we'll schedule a time so you can come and meet with your preceptor or whatever. And so when you go up there, I would suggest maybe just bringing some donuts, just like a gesture of good faith. It's just a nice gesture. You don't have to, but it just makes you stand out. It doesn't have to be just 6 donuts or 12 Krispy Kreme donuts for $8 or something like that. Drop off your resume, dress professional, be professional, and then you're in. And as far as following up, when you do finally find someone that's willing to take you, a lot of places book students out 6 months to a year in advance. So if they're willing to take you, you'll say, well, I don't need it until next year. Fine. Make sure you follow up a month or 2 months before that, and just continuously follow up, because you would hate for it's time to start and you have to send them your paperwork for your school, and they're like, oh, this person isn't here anymore, or we don't take students anymore. Things can slip through the cracks, and just follow up and say, hey, you guys, agreed to preset me. I'm just following up. Make sure it's a go. So just being aggressive and following up definitely goes a long way. Don't make the mistake I did. I would just buy donuts and I would just print out copies of my resume and just go to random practices and just drop them off and say, hey, I'm looking to be a student here. And sometimes you won't hear nothing back. So just make sure they even accept students and they're willing to work with you before you even show up and do that. So that's my first tip, or second tip. Third tip is mention your experience. So for my background is critical care emergency. So when I was looking for my urgent care rotations, I would just say I have a background in acute care, emergency medicine, and I think that I know I would be like a good fit for your practice. And my pediatric preceptor, she was a NICU nurse for a long time. So just leverage your experience when you are reaching out to these practices and talking with them. Then my next tip, number 4, is being flexible with the location. So there are a lot of students that, of course, notoriously, we have trouble for finding rotations. They drive an hour and a half out. I would never do that. I don't care. I live in Atlanta, and I found all of my rotations in Atlanta, and I told myself I am not driving to Gainesville, Clarkston, whatever the hell, all because we go through enough as it is when working, and it's tiring to be working full-time and going to school. So just adding a long commute on top of that is just insanity. You have to do what you have to do, but what I would suggest is being flexible, but going to the more remote parts of town. For me, the big city, right, Atlanta, and then you have Sandy Springs in North Atlanta, which is very, but I live on the south side. So it's not as like busy here. It's more like remote. It's kind of like something that can be run down. So if you feel comfortable, just go to like some that might not get the most people. I mean, granted, you want to have a good experience, but sometimes if you're a little desperate and you don't want to drive an hour and a half, or ones in the major city are all booked up, sometimes you might not have a choice. And really, it's all about just getting placed somewhere. That's just the biggest thing, I'm just to be honest with you. Number NP Hub. I really like NP Hub. Now, NP Hub is a service that connects nurse practitioner students to preceptors. There are other ones, but that's one of the big players. And now, as a disclaimer, some schools don't allow you to pay for clinicals, but at the same time, they're not finding them for you either. So I'm not telling anybody to get caught up or whatever. Sometimes gotta do what you have to do. So NP Hub does charge, and if they are not able to find you a preceptor for any reason, they will refund you your money back because you have to put down a deposit in order for them to send your information out to find preceptors. So if you've done all that and you can't find anybody, and it's like it's closer to, or if the semester has already started and you don't have one, which happened to me one time, sometimes you might have to just do that. I know that everybody can't do that because everybody doesn't have $1,000 to $2,000 to dish out for, it just, America is a capitalist society. Most people charge anyways. What it is. So that's that. So those are my tips for finding clinical placement. Sorry, I tried to make this video too long. I created an ebook, and it's called 40 Paths Beyond the Bedside. It's called The Exit Strategy. And I'm going to make another video talking about why I left nursing, the reasons why I left nursing, and how you can leave nursing too. I'll leave the description in my bio just in case you guys want to go and check it out. And I'll also include a template for a cold email that you can start sending out to practices as you get ready to secure your clinical placement. So I hope somebody found some value from this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.